Yeah, there are so many points that we could dive into, and I feel that will be very supportive for the audience. Is that I feel we are always being guided, and of course, I think everybody's spirit guide style is and higher self is very different, and some are very loving and patient, and some are just more strict. But how did you deal with, early on, like, because you said you were holding a lot of energy, and then, starting the platform actually help you grow and move those energies. Can you talk more about that? Because I feel why I'm asking this is because very often we feel guided to start something, but then we have different program and belief or fear of rejections, right? So it's like me, I would procrastinate. And how did you deal with those uncertainty or this discomfort?
Yeah, I also procrastinated in the beginning, but because in the end I found myself I don't have a choice. I needed to move forward. So, like, even though I was scared, I just kept going forward and doing what I needed to do. Um, and like it was more like a practice. I don't need to feel ready to follow my calling and do the things that I want to do. The fear, the doubts that we have in the beginning, it's more like the limiting beliefs, the traumas that comes to the surface, and also sometimes we believe that we need to heal everything and then we start. But many times we are aware of some traumas, some challenges as we walk the path, and that's what happened. So it's how to say, like, whenever I felt those fears, doubts, I just took time for myself to just feel those emotions. Sometimes I was going to the sea to just meditate there, and when I was feeling better, then I started working again. So it was in the beginning for a while like that, until I started to feel more comfortable in the work I'm doing. And yeah, I remember also in the beginning I was writing everything. I was reading everything. But yeah, it's I didn't force myself to just flow with the speakers. It came like when I felt more comfortable with it, I just started doing that. So it was not also like forcing myself to do something, like honoring my path and like how I can deal with the things.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Because we had a short look into your human design, and you are the right angle cross of the service. And even without knowing your human design, I could already say that, because the new paradigm or the actual spirituality is about you. Like when you say, you feel the fear and then you be with it, and then you just hold space for yourself, and then you do it anyway, and then you heal through the process. And I feel that's just in alignment to, a lot of new teachings. And I just love how you share that, the more you leaning into the trust and the guidance, and with each place you visited, and you moved, you lived or you stayed, as if that there's new energy that is coming up, from the environment and also within yourself. Because I feel like this is such a magical time that I feel, like your connection with Spain is so strong. Like every places you stay, it's almost like it healed and also activated new part of yourself. And together with the energy of the mountains in the north of Spain, it's also like very nourishing. And so I'm just, no surprise that you started the podcast there, and then you're just going at it. And I find that very, very inspiring. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And also, like, sometimes we feel called to follow a path or do something, and we don't understand the reason why. And the understanding many times comes later when we walk that path. Like Your Divine Uniqueness, at some point I realized this was the platform where I can speak my truth freely, because I couldn't talk about everything with everyone, so it was a challenge, because of maybe part of it, the culture, and also people not being fully open to that. And then with time we realized that, because many times in the beginning we have an image about how we will share our gifts, how we will serve, and we get stuck in that image. We don't have that flexibility to let our path show us where we need to go. And then when there is some guidance, we may resist it because we are too attached to that image. So for me, I learned to have that flexibility. Still, sometimes I have those. I found myself attached to an image, but when I have that awareness, then I let go of that. I become more open. It's like I let the universe to surprise me how things will unfold, and there were many surprises, really unexpected. And it's how to say, because also many of us, and because how societies are built, it's we learn that we need to fight to achieve the things that we want to reach, our dreams, our goals. But we can reach, from my experience, we can reach at some level, but there is stress going with that and discomfort. So it's like we are not really enjoying the path. But when we just allow ourselves to just receive, to let things come to us, even small things, and when they come, appreciate them and feel grateful to them, to the small and the big things. And when they happen, we realize that it doesn't need to be, a struggle or working hard for that. So it's also in my journey, it has been learning about letting go of trying to control everything and try to understand everything, because I have a technical background. We need to understand everything to decide. So I needed to find a balance, use that knowledge when it's needed, and also allow the heart to guide when it's needed as well.
Can you share a little bit more about, when you say, when sometimes we are attached to an image of how things should come, how our gift should come, how we should be serving, and how do you, because sometimes we are not always aware of when we are still attached to, and how do you know when you are attached to, and how do you know when to let go, and instead of opening to,
it can be in different ways. Sometimes it's just a knowing, but also sometimes when I start to take action towards something, but it feels like things don't work, or it's like it's like the reality outside. It's like giving me messages, maybe to think this over, to give it some time and feel into it. It's more about becoming, when we become the witness of what is happening within and outside, it becomes easy to recognize the messages and when to ask, when to question what is happening, whether it's our path or not. But also it can be tricky, because sometimes it can be coming from trauma.
Yeah.
And we think that this is our guidance, that we shouldn't do that because maybe something wrong will happen along the way. But it's more the fear that is bringing those emotions. So here it's more having the flexibility to take time, to slow down, to be flexible about different paths, different options, not being attached to only one. And then with time, when we feel like more grounded, more centered, we allow ourselves to feel into those options and see how we feel, where we feel guided to walk into. But also when we make a choice, it doesn't mean we are missing out or on something. There are always opportunities, and because we can be indecisive at some point. So it's more about taking decision and then experimenting. We see what the universe will tell us through the messages, how we feel along the way. We feel this is right or not, if we need to change things in that path or not. So yeah, but it's trying to move forward. Like I said in the beginning, even there is some fear, it's not forcing it, but going slowly at the pace that we feel more comfortable with.
Yeah, that's very beautiful, because I feel, like when we are indecisive, sometimes it's the intuition guiding us that, okay, it's not the time to make decision, right? And sometimes it's fear. Like we are so afraid, like we're conditioned to be so afraid of making the wrong decision. But I feel through your stories, and if it's like, I feel like we are being invited to live life with more fluidity, right? Trust that whatever decision we make, we will receive what we need to receive, and we can always change, like make a new decision,